friends, now I am with you in the last video of chemical bonding topic, because till now we are completed all the part related with this chemical bonding, and as per my idea you do not have any problem in that part. Now today I am going to discussing with you some important concept, that one is called as the bond parameters. Listen very carefully. Till now we are completed what is the meaning of ionic bond, later on covalent bond, then finally after the covalent bond some intermolecular forces, in that the hydrogen bonding, van der Waals force, and one metallic bond is remain, that we will see last part of this topic. But now before that metallic bond I am discussing with you some important concept, that one is called as the bond parameter. You know very well the three bond parameter are very important by considering the chemical bonding. See toward the board. As all you know very well, now we are in the last part of this topic, which one is called as the bond parameter. So dear friends, so what is the meaning of bond parameters, or which are the important concept related to you by considering the phenomenon which is called as the bond parameters? As all you know very well, any chemical bond, for example any chemical bond which have a generally three parameter which is applicable in the chemical reaction, or three parameters are applicable everywhere. Out of that three parameter, which is the three parameter which we are discussed here, out of the three parameter, the first parameter which is called as the bond length, bond angle and bond energy. The first parameter is called as the bond length. Dear friends, listen very carefully. The first parameter is bond length. The second parameter is called as the bond angle. Second parameter is called as the bond angle. And my friends, third parameter which is present inside of this, that the third parameter is called as the bond energy. So these are the three parameters which we are considered. One is the bond length, another is the bond angle, and third one is the bond energy. Now my friends, what is the meaning of bond length? You see toward the first parameter, that one is called as the bond length. We finish first the bond length. I will define you what is the meaning of bond length. Very simple things. What is the meaning of bond length? The bond length means the average distance between, this is the very definition, the average distance between the nucleus of two atoms is known as bond length. So suppose this is one hydrogen atom, you know hydrogen have its own nucleus. This is another hydrogen atom, this another hydrogen atom also have its own nucleus. So what is the bond length? Bond length is nothing but the average distance between, listen very carefully, this is the very simple definition which we consider for the bond length. See this is the, what is the average distance between the nucleus of two atoms is known as bond length. The average distance between the nucleus of two atoms, the average distance between the nucleus of two atoms is known as the bond length. So as per my idea, you don't have any problem in the definition of this bond length, because this definition is very simple. Now my friends, it depends upon the mainly on electronegativity of constituent atoms, because how to calculate the bond length, how to decide the bond length, that depends upon the electronegativity of A and B. So suppose for example I will explain you two cases. These two cases are already present in your topic, that one is called as the periodic table. You know in periodic table the two concepts are there, that one is called as the Shoemaker and Stevenson formula is also present in periodic table. But before going to discussing the periodic table, I am explaining in front of you some important concept. Actually two types of bond is there. In that the first type, that is A type, the bond between two similar atom, is it okay? Or bond between two dissimilar atom, but electronegativity of both atom is nearly same. Listen very carefully. I am explaining in front of you two cases related with the bond length. Which is that two cases I am explaining in front of you. The first case is the bond present between two similar atom, and the second case is bond present between two dissimilar atom, but electronegativity of both atom is the same. You know very well in periodic table you have one concept, that one is called as atomic radius, because atomic radius is the property of periodic table. What is the atomic radius of A? Atomic radius means it is the average distance between nucleus to outermost electron present in their vanillary cell. Nucleus to outermost electron, that average distance is called like the atomic radius. Now my friends, suppose for example we consider radius of A is equal to Ra, the radius of another A is Ra, is it okay? Therefore if bond present between two same atom, therefore how to calculate the bond A? Bond A means distance of AA. Distance of AA is called as the bond length. Distance of AA is equal to radius of A plus radius of B. Is it okay? Radius of A means what? What is atomic radius? it is the half of the distance between two. This is called as the covalent radius. You know, this is called as the covalent radius. What is the definition of covalent radius? The half of the distance between the two atoms bonded by means of covalent bond is called as the covalent radius. And whenever we consider average distance of this covalent radius is called as the bond length. Therefore, what about A? This is called as the radius of A. What about another A? This one is also called as the radius of A. Therefore, distance of AA is equal to radius of A plus radius of B. Obviously, na, the radius of this atom means half distance. Radius of this atom means half distance. मतलब अभी मुझे एक बात बताओ, इसका हाफ डिस्टेंस दोनों का डिस्टेंस मिलाने के बाद इसकी बॉन्ड लेंथ निकल जाएगी आपको. सो देयरफॉर डिस्टेंस ऑफ ए इज इक्वल टू रेडियस ऑफ ए प्लस रेडियस ऑफ बी. This is the very simple things related to this phenomenon. As per my idea, you don't have any problem related to this phenomenon. Or those atoms which have a electronegativity same, electronegativity nearly same, but they are heterodiatomic molecule. Then how to calculate the bond length of this AB bond length of AB bond? This is RA means radius of A, RB means radius of B. Therefore, distance of AB is equal to RA plus what? RA plus RB. So this is the phenomenon. We calculate the bond length. So as per my idea, the first case is over, in which the both atoms have a same electronegativity. Both atoms have a same what? Both atoms have a same electronegativity. And if both atoms have a same electronegativity, then we calculate the bond length by using this formula. Therefore, AA is equal to radius of A plus radius of A. Therefore, distance of AA is equal to RA plus, this is RA plus RA or RA plus RB, because both have a same electronegativity. So, what is the meaning of RA? RA is nothing but the radius of A. What is the meaning of RB? RB is nothing but the radius of B. Now, dear friends, this is one way. By using this, we calculate the bond length. Now, suppose for example, which one is the second case? In second case, the bond present between two dissimilar atoms, but electronegativity difference is more. Listen very carefully. Bond present between two dissimilar atoms, but electronegativity difference is what? More. Suppose for example, we consider bond length of this. Now, whenever electronegativity difference is very high, or electronegativity difference is not equal to 0, or electronegativity difference is high, then at that time two scientists are there. One is Shoemaker and Stevenson. The name of that scientist is what? Shoemaker and Stevenson. That gives the very interesting and beautiful formula. By using this, we calculate the bond length. I know this concept already present in your periodic table. You learn this concept in periodic table, but I will give you only formula related to this phenomenon. So, which is the formula given by Shoemaker and Stevenson? Distance of AB is equal to distance of AB, radius of A plus radius of B minus, listen very carefully, radius of A plus radius of B minus 0.09 in bracket XA minus XB. What is the meaning of XA minus XB? You know very well. What is the meaning of RA? RA is nothing but the radius of A. What is the meaning of RB? RB is nothing but the radius of B. RB is nothing but the radius of B. My friends, what is the meaning of XA? XA means electronegativity of A. XA means electronegativity of A. And what is the meaning of XP? XP means what? XP means what? Electronegativity of B. The XP is called as the electronegativity of B. So, dear students, these are the very simple things, and these are the very simple phenomenon. By using that, we successfully calculate the bond length of that particular. So, listen very carefully. These are the two cases which are present in front of you. My friends, you keep in your mind, these are the very simple phenomenon related to these. So, this is the simple way. By using this, we decide the bond length of that particular atom. Okay, listen. What is the bond length? This is the average distance between the two nucleus present in the molecule, or this is the average distance between the nucleus of two atoms is known as bond length. The average distance between the nucleus of two atoms is known as bond length. Now, in this bond length, how to calculate the bond length means distance of A. Distance of A means bond length. Two possibilities are there. In one possibility, the electronegativity of two bonded atoms is same. If two atoms is different but electronegativity is same, then at that time simply we calculate bond length is equal to, that is distance of A is equal to radius of A plus radius of A, or distance of AB is equal to radius of A plus radius of B. This is a very simple things. By using that, we calculate the bond length. And suppose for example, in second case, electronegativity difference is more, then how to calculate the bond length? This formula given to us by the Shoemaker and Stevensons. This formula given to us by the Shoemaker and Stevensons. my friend, therefore distance of AB is equal to RA plus RB minus 0.09 XA minus XB. This is the formula which is given to us by the Schumacher and Stevenson. All these values are given in your numerical problems, because these problems are present in periodic table, that is called electronegativity concept. So you put this value inside of the given formulas, and then finally you calculate the bond length of this. So dear student, so these are the two cases which is present in front of you. Now I am discussing with you some factors affecting on bond length. Which are the factor responsible on this bond length? Because you must know, so all the factor related to bond length. So I will explain you now the factors affecting on the bond length, because all things are very interesting and very important related to this point. So which are the factors that are responsible to calculate the bond length? That factors are responsible for calculation of bond length. Listen very carefully. The first factors affecting bond length, write down all these things in your notebook. This is called as the factors affecting on what? The factors affecting on the bond length. So friends, listen very carefully, which are the main factors which are responsible on this bond length. In that, the first factor is there, a difference in electronegativity, that is called as the delta electronegativity. First factor, that one is called as the delta electronegativity. Delta electronegativity means difference in electronegativity. Dear student, this is a very simple relation which I am putting in front of you. Very simple relation, keep in your mind. The simple relation is like this: bond length is inversely proportional to delta En. Delta En म्हणजे काय? डेल्टा म्हणजे डिफरन्स, En म्हणजे काय? इलेक्ट्रोनिगेटिव्हिटी. म्हणजे याचा अर्थ काय झाला? If electronegativity of bonded atom, a difference in electronegativity of bonded atom is more, then bond length will be less. Now I will give you one best example to you. Suppose for example I have a HF, you know very well I have a HCl. Suppose for example I have a HBr, and suppose for example I have a HI. My friends, tell me what happened in this case. You know the fluorine is more electronegative than chlorine, than bromine, iodine. If fluorine is more electronegative, the difference between H and F is very high. The difference between H and F is very high. If electronegative difference increases, then bond length decreases. Therefore, here electronegative difference is very high. Therefore, bond length is very less. Therefore, the bond length is more in the HI, because electronegative difference is very low, because iodine have a less electronegativity than bromine, than chlorine, than fluorine. So this is the first concept which we considered. Then second factors which affect the bond length, that second factor is called as the bond order. You know very well what is the bond order, which we already completed in previous concept. What is the meaning of bond order? Or bond order is also called as the number of bonds between two atoms. Bond order is also called as the number of bonds between the two atoms. So my friends, how to consider the bond length? Listen very carefully. The bond length is, this formula also I am given to you relation. So see here, the bond length is inversely proportional to bond order. The bond length is inversely proportional to the bond order, and as all you know very well, bond length is inversely proportional to bond order, and as bond order increases, bond energy also increases. Therefore, it is bond and second relation I will explain you. That explain at the time of bond energy. Now friends, what is the meaning of this bond length is inversely proportional to bond order? Suppose for example I have this bond. Suppose for example I have a carbon-carbon bond. I am given to you one example. Suppose I have another bond in this carbon-carbon double bond, and suppose I have next bond in which carbon-carbon triple bond. My friends, the bond order between two this is 3, bond order is 2, and bond order is 1, because in between two carbon atom 3 bond is present. Therefore, bond order is 3. In between two carbon atom 2 bond is present. Therefore, bond order is 2. In between two carbon atom only 1 bond is present. Therefore, bond order is 1. Is it okay? So my friends, what's happened? As bond order increases, bond energy decreases. Bond length, as bond order increases, bond length decreases. So whenever we consider about this phenomenon, the bond length is inversely proportional to the bond order. Here the bond order of this is more, therefore bond length of single bond is more than the double bond, than the triple bond. Whenever we discuss about the bond length phenomenon, then bond length of triple bond is always lower than the bond length of triple bond is always lower than the double bond and then triple bond. The next concept I am given to you, the third concept, which one is also very important. The third concept is called as the resonance. As all you know very well, the resonance we are already completed in organic chemistry. Whenever any molecule which have a resonance, then at that time resonance decrease the bond length. Why decrease the bond length? Because sometime double bond converted into single bond and single bond converted into double bond. Might maybe happen that increase or decrease depends upon the resonance. I will give you one simple example to you. My friends, suppose my friends, in benzene molecule, we have a resonance in benzene molecule. So actually what happened, this is a resonance of in benzene molecule. So dear students, this is a very interesting phenomenon I am explaining you. In benzene molecule, actually carbon carbon single bond is present, carbon carbon double bond is present. The bond length of carbon carbon single bond is 1.54 and bond length of carbon carbon double bond is 1.34. It means that what is conclusion? The benzene must be show two types of bond length, one is 1.54, other one is 1.34. But whenever we actually taken the bond length, the benzene doesn't show these two bond length, benzene show only the bond length between bond length of carbon carbon bond length in benzene is 1.39. This is correct. So why 1.39? What is the conclusion? What indicate 1.39? 1.39 is lower than single carbon carbon single bond length and higher than carbon carbon double bond length. It means whenever resonance is there, then bond length of single bond decreases and bond length of double bond increases. Then this is the final conclusion related to this phenomenon, which is called as the bond length. As per my idea, you don't have any problem in this concept, my dear friends. I don't want to explain more things related to this phenomenon. So these are the very simple concepts which related to by considering the bond length. Okay, is it okay? So now we are moving toward the second point of this topic. That second point is called as the bond angle. So these are the bond parameter. You must know the conclusion related to this bond parameter. Once if you know the bond parameter, then remaining things become very simple to you, because might maybe happen they ask you the question in examination. The second bond parameter is there. That second bond parameter is called as the bond angle. Hello dear students, see toward the board. What is the meaning of bond angle? The angle between any two adjacent bond is known as the bond angle. This is a very interesting phenomenon. The angle between, listen very carefully, the angle between any two adjacent bond, the angle between any two adjacent bonds, is known as the bond angle. Now you know very well the bond angle, it is represented by degree, minute and second. Suppose for example, how to represent the bond angle? See, it is represented by write down first degree we write down like this dot, first degree, then after that degree a single line indicate minute and double line indicate second. Suppose for example 109 degree 28 minute and suppose for example 30 second. Is it okay? This is the representation of bond angle. What is the representation? Suppose 109 degree, this indicate degree, this only single dash indicate single line indicate this is minute and this double indicate the second. 109 degree 28 minute 30 second. This is the representation of bond angle. Now factors responsible on bond angles. Which are the factors affecting on the bond angle? See here friends, these are the very important concept whenever we discussing about the factors affecting on what? Factors affecting on the bond angle. I will explain you the first factor which affect the bond angle. That first factor is called as the number of bond. Number of bond is nothing but the bond order, my friends. So for bond angle is directly proportional to number of bond is directly proportional to the bond angle. Listen very carefully. As number of bond increases, bond angle increases. Suppose for example we have a carbon carbon single bond. Suppose for example we have a carbon carbon double bond, and suppose for example we have a carbon carbon triple bond. You know the carbon carbon double bond means 109 degree 28 minute. Carbon carbon double bond is 120 degree and triple bond is 180 degree. It means that as number of bond increases, bond angle also increases. Okay, so as per my idea, you don't have any problem in the first factors. Number of bond is directly proportional to the bond angle. As number of bond increases, bond angle also increases. Now I am explaining you the second point related to this phenomenon, which is the second point related to bond angle. The second point is called as the hybridization. The second point in this phenomenon is called as the hybridization. My dear friends, now I am explaining in front of you what is the hybridization concept. When hybridization is same, bonded atoms are same, central atom and lone pair are different. Now see, in hybridization concept we have two case. What is the same? A case hybridization is same, bonded atom are same, central atom and lone pair are different. See, hybridization is same. First case is what? Hybridization is the same. I will explain you in detail. Hybridization is same. The second, bonded atoms also same. The second cases is called as bonded atoms are same. Hybridization is same, bonded atoms are same. Then later on, central atom and lone pair are different. Then the next cases is there, the central atoms and lone pair are different. Suppose for example we have this type of phenomenon. So what happen in this hybridization concept? If hybridization is same, bonded atoms are same, but central atoms and lone pair are different, then bond angle depends upon what? The bond angle is, listen very carefully, the bond angle, I will give you the conclusion in front of you. The bond angle is inversely proportional to the number of lone pairs of electron. Bond angle is inversely proportional to the number of lone pairs. Now my friends, what's happened in this case? For example, we consider one example, hybridization and bond angle. For particular example, suppose I have one example, methane molecule, then after that ammonia molecule, then after that water molecule, methane, ammonia, water. You know, hybridization of methane is sp3, hybridization of ammonia is also sp3, hybridization of water is also sp3. Hybridization is same, bonded atoms are same, here also hydrogen, here also hydrogen, here also hydrogen, bonded atoms are same, but central atom and lone pair are different. Here central atom is carbon, here nitrogen and here oxygen, yes or no? So but here 0 lone pair, here 1 lone pair and here 2 lone pair is different. Now my friends, the bond angle of this is 109 degree 28 minute, yes or no? And bond angle of this is 107 degree, 107, and bond angle of this is 105 degree. So what indicate? As number of lone pair of electron increases, then bond angle will be decreases. So this is the first case which we considered inside of this phenomenon. So this is and what is the case second, and what is the, see, when hybridization is same, bonded atoms are same, lone pair is same, but central atom is different. You know, this concept I am already given to you, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. We are already discussed all these things. So you write, you read that valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Then what's happened with that bond angle? That all cases we are discussed in previous studies. So the last point now I am discussing with you. That last point is called the bond energy. Now listen very carefully. What is the second case? We already completed in VSEPR theory. Valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. You read yourself once again. What is the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory? Once if you know that all concept in that VSEPR, then everything become very simple to you. So this is called as the bond angle. Now friends, I am going to discussing with you the last point of this, but the last point, that one is called as the bond energy. And then after that bond energy, we are moving toward some metallic bond, and once the metallic bond is over, then this topic is completed. Now my friends, what is the meaning of bond energy? You see very seriously toward the board. I will define you what is bond energy. The bond energy, bond formation energy released. Now the bond energy we define by two way. Suppose for example we have this is bond. At the time of bond formation, energy is released, and suppose first case is what? Suppose A combined with B, then it gives the AB, then energy is released. And suppose I want to break the AB, into A plus B, then energy is required. This is called as a bond formation energy. This is called as what? This is called as bond formation energy. And the second case is called as the bond dissociation energy. The first energy is the bond formation energy and second energy is the bond dissociation energy. What is the meaning of bond formation energy? What is the bond formation energy? I am sorry, this is bond formation means what? A plus B. When two atoms are combined together, then at the time of energy is released, and then how much amount of energy released when one bond is formed or one mole of substance is formed up from these constituent atoms, that one is called like the bond formation energy, and that energy is nothing but the bond energy. Or how much amount of energy required to break that particular bond, such energy is called as bond dissociation energy. Obviously ना, मुझे बात बताओ, यहाँ पे जितनी निकलेगी ये बॉन्ड बनने के लिए उतनी बॉन्ड ब्रेक करने के लिए लगेगी ना आपको. सो बॉन्ड एनर्जी वी डिफाइन बाय टू वे, आइदर bond formation energy or bond dissociation energy. So these are the two way we systematically discuss very systematically by considering this phenomenon. Now in diatomic molecule, see the in diatomic molecule bond energy is equal to bond in diatomic molecule. Very simple things or very simple phenomenon we are considering this phenomenon. Listen very carefully. In diatomic molecules, my friends, this is a very important things. In diatomic molecule, bond formation energy is equal to what? Bond formation energy is equal to bond dissociation energy, and this happens in the case of diatomic molecule. I will given you some factors affecting on bond energy. See toward the board. So, see this is in diatomic molecule, and suppose for example in polyatomic molecule, I will explain you how to calculate the bond energy in polyatomic molecules. My friend, suppose I have one example. Suppose CHHH. We have a 4 CH bond. This is 1 CH bond, 2 CH bond, 3 CH bond, 4 CH bond. Then at that time we calculate the average bond energy. How to calculate the average bond energy? You consider the bond energy of first CH bond. See bond energy of first CH bond, first CH bond, second CH bond, third CH bond and fourth CH bond divided by 4. So you all energy are given, the first CH bond, second CH bond, third CH bond, fourth CH bond, all energy are given, and you add that all energy, then you give the average of this all bond energy is called as the bond energy of this particular polyatomic molecule. In polyatomic molecule, we always consider the average bond energy. How to calculate the average bond energy? You just addition of all that bond takes place, then divided by number of bonds, it gives the average bond energy. So this is very simple things. Now I will give you the factors affecting on the bond energy. Dear friends, this is a very important phenomenon. You don't worry, these are the very interesting and very simple concept. Factors affecting on what? Factors affecting on the bond energy. The first factor is their difference in electronegativity. This is called as delta En. As difference in electronegativity increases, then the bond energy also increases. For example, HF, for example HCl, for example HBr, and for example HI. My friends, the difference in electronegativity of HF is more, therefore bond energy is more, then HCl, and then finally what? HBr. So this is the order of bond energy which we considered in the difference in electronegativity. Then next factor is their bond energy increases due to resonance. See toward this. The second factor is called as the bond order. Now I will give you the second factor which is called as the bond order. As bond order increases, bond energy also increases. The example of this is CC, then C double bond C, then C triple bond C. Bond order is more, therefore energy is also high. As bond order increases, bond energy also increases. The next factor is their atomic size. My friends, the third factor I will explain you. This is second factor, third factor. That the third factor is called as atomic size. Atomic size is inversely proportional to the bond energy, because as atomic size increases, bond length also increases, and whenever the bond length increases, bond energy decreases. Suppose for example we have a Cl, Cl and Br, Br. Atomic size of Br is more, therefore as bond length atomic size is less, bond energy is high, therefore chlorine, the bond energy of chlorine is greater than, and so on. So these are the very simple things related to this phenomenon. My friends, as per my idea, you don't have any problem in this bond parameter. You read very carefully, you see very systematically, you doesn't have any problem related to this. Now finally I will conclude this topic by using the metallic bond. I will conclude this topic now. The last point of this topic, that last point of this topic is called as the metallic bond. So which is the metallic bond, how we discuss the metallic bond, see it over the board. What is the meaning of metallic bond? Last point of this topic, within 5 minutes this topic is over. See it over the board, solve number of MCQ, you try to solve all these things. Till now we are completed all the bond, ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate bond, and then finally last is the metallic bond. Again some weak bonded are there, that one is called as the hydrogen bonds and van der Waals force. So friends, what is the meaning of metallic bond, how to discuss this? Now listen, metallic bond is something different, something special. Why? Because metals have so many characters, that is metals are malleable, metals are ductile, metals are lustrous, metals are sonorous. So why this property of metal is there? Due to only and only metallic bond. So my friends, what is the meaning of metallic bond, how we define this? Metallic bond is nothing but, suppose for example we have a piece of sodium metal, you know this is one Na, you know this another Na, this is third Na, this is the fourth Na, this is the fifth Na, this is the sixth Na. Now Na become Na plus, Na become Na plus, Na become Na plus, this Na also become Na plus, this also become Na plus. Each sodium loses its electron, Why sodium loses its electron? Because you know ionization potential of sodium is very less, and whenever the ionization potential is low, it means this loses its electron. Now my dear students, how to define the metallic bond? Now in this case electrons are not stable at one place, electrons are mobile. This Na plus is called as the kernel, The position of kernel is always fixed, but position of electron is not fixed. Electron always mobile in this metallic bond, electron always in the moving form. This electron might maybe happen come here, this goes here, this comes here, goes here, and so on. The electrons are not stable, electrons are mobile. That's why the metals are good conductor. When we touch the electricity wire here, automatically electrons came here. It means this is called as electronic conductors. What is the meaning of electronic conductors? The conduction of electricity takes place by the moment of electron. Here moment of electron is there, therefore this is called as electronic conductor. Now dear friends, what is the definition of metallic bond? This is the correct definition. It is the force of attraction between positively charged metal ion with mobile electron. Don't forget this mobile word. So whenever the force of attraction between positively charged metal ion with mobile electron is there, then my friends, this bond is called as the metallic bond. The constituent particle of metallic solid are metal atom which are held together by means of metallic bond. These two metal atoms are held together by metallic bond. Write down in your notebook. In order to explain the nature of metallic bond, Lorentz proposed a simple theory known as electron gas model. This is the electron gas model or electron C model, or C. This is a C of electron, and we put kernel in that C, then all electrons are attracted toward that kernel. That one is called as the electron C model. A metal atom is supposed to consist of two parts, valence electron, and remaining part of the inner shell is called as kernel. This is kernel and this electron is valence electron, and Na plus is called as the kernel. The kernel of metal occupies the lattice site, while the space between the kernel is occupied by the valence electron. The space between these two occupied by valence electron, and kernels occupy the lattice site. And what is the force of attraction between the metallic ions and mobile electron is called as the metallic bond. My friends, as number of electron increases, then strength of metallic bond is increases. Aluminium contribute 3 electron, magnesium contribute 2 electron, sodium contribute 1 electron. The strength of metallic bond of aluminium is always greater than magnesium, is always greater than what? Sodium. So these are the very introductory and basic point of this topic. My friends, my students, read very carefully chemical bonding. I know very well chemical bonding is a very important topic for your future syllabus, for your future examination, for your NEET, JEE, JEE advanced examination, these are the very important point. You know, you must know what is ionic bond, you know what is Born-Haber cycle, you must know what is the lattice enthalpy, you know what is hydration enthalpy, what is the factors affecting on lattice enthalpy, which one is the factor affecting on hydration enthalpy. You know very well Fagen's rule, that is called as the concept of polarization. You must know covalent bond, you must know valence bond theory, you must know hybridization, you must know valence electron pair repulsion theory, you must know molecular orbital theory, you must know all types of bond, you must know bond parameter, and you must know hybridization, because hybridization is a very important. I am given to you so many examples from this hybridization. I will definitely no any examination ask you the question apart from this example. So dear student, I hope you read very carefully. This chemical bonding topic is very important once again. So all the best for your examination, all the best for your future, all the best. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.